it's quite straight there. Do you think? But you come a little bit because I don't like sitting in front of you.
You are.
Because if I sit in front, yeah, if I do that.
It's just because you're big.
Oh, thanks.
Big.
Bigger.
Big.
What are you trying to say? What are you doing to me?
Getting on a little bit.
Getting my dust bits off.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I've given Max a love on it. So I've got all Max hairs on us. Can you see the whiteboard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, the whiteboard. So the whiteboard full of all the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Going to talk about any of the jobs that you've been doing? Yeah, it's handy just to have it. Okay, so where are we going to start today?
Hello.
It's a good place to start. Shall I do the beginning?
Go for it.
Okay, let me just have a drink. Once we get started, it's all right, isn't it? Once we get started.
Once you get started.
It's just getting started that's the hard bit, isn't it? So good morning, everyone, and welcome to a brand new PiPsCast.
Good morning.
So for those of you that are new here, my name's Darren, and this is Elaine.
Hello.
And this is our PiPsCast. And we do a PiPsCast every Thursday. We record it on a Thursday morning, as it is now, and we release it Thursday afternoon. And it's just our chat. It's just chatting, that's all. We might sometimes intersperse a few photographs. And I think today, actually, we might...
We even have some live movement and live footage.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes, yeah. At the end of it, because we've been foraging a little bit this week. Mm-hmm. We've been learning a little bit about foraging.
Yeah.
I suppose. Well, we've learned to forage one mushroom, should we say.
Yeah. So our neighbour came, was it Sunday evening? I think it was Sunday evening. Our neighbour came past just before dark, and her daughter was visiting, and so she stopped and said, "Oh, we've been out looking for mushrooms," and they showed us what was in their basket, and she said, "We get these from quite near where your land is, and on the way back I noticed that you have some of these growing on your land."
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, very interesting, because we love mushrooms.
Yeah.
But we've never known enough to go and pick them and be, you have to be 100% confident in what you're eating, because it can be very dangerous.
Yeah.
So her and her daughter, who speak English, went through what to look for to identify this one particular mushroom that she'd seen growing on our land, looking for the colour and its sort of distinctive things that will make it stand out from anything similar.
That's right, yeah, and it's quite a specific, it is quite distinctive.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is the mushroom here. It's very orange, I think, compared to a lot of others, so you can kind of spot it quite quickly. And it has this kind of green, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it has a green, comes about sometimes
I think once you cut it.
Yeah, possibly. That's okay, apparently, and and we're taking that as a sign that we've got the right mushroom. Yeah. And if you get a little knife, I think we'll show you later, if you get a little knife and just score very, very gently into the
gills.
The gills, that's it. It gives like a little red line, and again, very distinctive, you can spot it. So we thought we'd give it a go, now that we're quite confident about at least this one mushroom. Yes. And there are a few of them around. We're going to give it a go, and we'll cook it up at the end of the video. And so, as I said, slightly different PiPsCast today. But we'll give that a go, add a taste and see what it's like. Yep.
And our friends, Andres and Gidra, they are very knowledgeable, and when I took a picture of this one that I got this morning, then G said, yep, they're definitely the right ones. She agreed with me. She said they're very delicious, and they're full of vitamins and minerals, so they're really good for you as well.
Good for you, apparently. So we're going to go for it. Yeah, give it a try. Yeah. Warning, don't just pick any mushrooms and eat them.
No, you have to know what you're doing. And after a year, we've got one.
We've got one down
under our belt.
Well, we'll see if we manage to.
If we're here next week, we've got one under our belt.
We've got one
that we've managed to learn.
Yeah. Well, that was it, because you were going to do some research, weren't you? So I was going to do some research about this mushroom, and you just messaged.
And I just messaged G.
Yeah, can I eat this?
That was my research.
That was the research. It worked. Yeah.
Well, I did download an identification app, but as soon as I opened it, on the first page there were 3 words that were misspelt, and they weren't difficult words. So I thought, I don't trust that one. So I uninstalled it very quickly, and
it's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Like they couldn't spell results. So
right. So that's for that.
That was a warning, wasn't it?
I think that was a warning.
Yeah.
So what have we been up to this week then?
This week we've been getting on with the bedroom. So we've been working in the bedroom.
Yeah.
It's a little bit slow. I've been tiling, so I've done a morning and an afternoon of tiling. But we've had a bit of a faff on trying to get a tile cutter that works. So
a tile cutter that fits the tiles.
Yeah, that fits the tiles and
cheap.
Works.
Yeah, that's cheap.
So we thought we'd been really lucky and found one where you put the tile inside and then you can slide it up and down, and then you use the lever to apply the pressure, because that's what I'm used to and I've used that lots of times. But our tiles are literally like this much too long.
Well, they do say it on the box, actually, strangely. They're 30 centimetres, 30.3 centimetres.
Yes, it can cope with that.
Yes, but it can't. Now, the cutter can't cope with that. The tiles are 30.3, but the cutter is 30.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get it in because that wouldn't fit.
So we had to take it back, and then the next one up was like €100.
Yeah, the next sized cutter.
Like way out of our budget.
Yeah.
That would be like seven. That would be 7 packs of tiles, and we would nearly have got the place done. But you think you found one on...
Well, then we bought the little hand cutter, didn't we? We bought a little hand cutter to try and cut that didn't work. So
didn't even scratch it.
Didn't even barely scratch it. That was a €5 attempt, but that didn't work. So I found one on Amazon that will take up to 40 centimetres of tile. Yeah, and strangely, we've managed to pick that up. It hasn't arrived yet, but we only paid €7 for it from Amazon Spain.
Yeah.
There was a discount of some, huge. It was about £50 normal or £40 normal price. €40 normal price, and we got it for £7. And it should arrive on Friday.
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. And hopefully that should fit the tiles, and then we can get on with that. But you've managed to do all the whole tiles.
So I've done everything where it's whole tiles. Yeah. But because none of the walls in this house are either straight, there's no true right angle, I've had to do it all by eye. So where I'd done the little bathroom, I've continued down that wall to make it straight, so that when you're looking from that side of the room, the tiles all look in line and straight. But then I had to change...
Yeah. Because
the next line, as you come out up this way towards the hall,
well,
it's just that there's no straight and no square rooms.
I think that's the problem.
It's more like an octagon. I've found out.
Well, it did really help us get in the straight line. Somebody mentioned to us on one of our comments a few videos back about tiling, and we did manage to use the
laser level.
The laser level, to get a straight line. We could kind of, well, you couldn't really eyeball it, to be honest with you, because all the walls are very unstraight here. But yes, the laser level did give us a good eye that we could then work down. So that did actually work. So that was really, really good using that to give it a go, wasn't it? It
was. Yes, to get your first line in. Yeah. And then all we need now is for the cutter to come tomorrow, and then I can go around all the edges.
All the little bits.
And then the bit in between those two sections that I've done is it's opened out into a triangle.
But we're hiding that bit under the bed. But
luckily that's all under the bed. So jobs are good. And
we're going to hide that bit.
Yeah. I'll cut a few angles. Yeah, so the angles in the bedroom were annoying me this week, but...
Yeah, but
you know what, once it's done, it's done. And
the small things... It's a small house, and honestly, we're going to cover most of the tiles with beds and chairs and things.
Well, that bed.
Yeah.
So that was easy enough, but it's just the waiting. We really couldn't afford like €100 to go and just get one immediately.
I think that's like
from the shop.
It's got to be a professional.
Yes,
tool,
it came in a very swish case, and it looked.
Well, that was it. They went from there was £100 for this. I don't know, it was about that big, 50 centimetres maybe, I don't know how big it was. But then the next one up was like 400, for a tile cutter. So they're clearly professional kits.
Yes, because you can get those wonderful big floor tiles, can't you, like you see in the shopping centres and in the hotels and stuff, and they're huge if you've got a big house. Yeah. So you're going to need the right
But we've been getting on
tools.
with bits and bobs anyway, haven't we?
Yep.
Been getting on with bits and bobs. And really what we've been doing is kind of we've been making plans again, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's been about kind of like, okay, so what are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with that? It's lots of little jobs. I think we mentioned it on the last PiPsCast. There's lots of little jobs that we have in our this is our main house, this is where we live, but we also have a little wooden house down on our land, which isn't quite finished yet.
Nothing's quite finished yet. We've only been here for 14 months. It's easy. We've got loads of time to...
Yeah.
What else would we do if we didn't have little jobs to do?
Yeah, true. But I've been thinking a little bit about it. We've been talking to a few people recently, haven't we, who've been wanting to move over to Portugal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting that people want to come to Portugal. And obviously we try to show both sides, don't we? That, I mean, there's nothing bad about it. There's a lot good about it, but there's slight difficulties. We try and show our life as normal. People kind of see that, I suppose. And in other videos on YouTube, people watch YouTube, obviously, to find out what's happening in Portugal. And they want to pop over and maybe live here at some point in the future. And we've met a few people recently, haven't we? Mm-hmm. And what's been really interesting is that they are making their plans to come here for maybe for 2 or 3 years' time and things like that. And I've been thinking about that quite a lot recently about... It was the same for us. We had plans, didn't we? And I was thinking, I think that's when life happens. And I've heard this before somewhere, but it said life happens when you're making plans. And I think that is the way it works. I think if you have a plan, if you have a goal,
an idea, a desire to change.
Yeah. It's kind of, life will happen, won't it?
Yes, because you then start to look for ways to make it happen, and you look for opportunities and make it real.
Yeah, from that perspective, I agree as well. You make it happen. Life happens because you are making those plans. But also, I think in its moment, getting quite philosophical here, life happens, I think, in those moments of planning as well. Because moments that are in life are all kind of in your mind anyway, aren't they? Mm-hmm. You enjoy things because you are in the moment and you're enjoying them in the moment. So whilst you're making those plans for the future, you're in that moment, and that is how life happens, being in that moment to achieve those plans. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Yeah, and I found that that's how it worked for me. I've said to Elaine quite a few times that I really enjoy the making plans. For when we were coming here, we spent a lot of time making plans. I mean, I want to hark back to COVID and all of that, where we were locked down and making our plans. But we had lots of plans, and those plans seemed like in a long distance, but they were still keeping us going. Because we had them, we were going. We were keeping happy. We were keeping positive, and that's what I also mean by life happens when you're making them. Yeah,
we had a goal, and we were working towards it.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Definitely.
So yeah, so I just wanted to kind of say that really, because I think there is a lot of people out there that are making those plans, and I would probably just want to say, just enjoy that as well. Enjoy the moments of making those plans.
Yeah.
Because that's what I found exciting.
Because I think when you're making your plans, anything is possible.
Yeah,
and then they can be tweaked and changed, or pared back, or expanded outwards. So. Yeah.
Well, that's really exciting, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're making those plans, you can change them, and that is also exciting.
Yeah.
So life is happening again in that moment as you're making those plans and changing those plans. Life is happening and life's evolving. Yeah, I find that really interesting, and I found that something. I mean, so yeah, I would say that, and I think that's the thing I think about with our daughter as well. I mean, we have 2 daughters and a son, but our daughter is in the mindset of she wants to make plans to travel and things like that, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And I think, again, I think for her, the excitement
of planning
it,
is half the enjoyment, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Talking of which, Jade, our daughter, hi Jade, has a YouTube channel, and if you don't know already, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Go and check out her YouTube channel, and it's really nice. It's about travelling. It's what she wants to do. She wants to travel, etc., take photos. So, it's just the start of her YouTube journey. So go and check it out. Give her video a like and all of that sort of stuff. That would be really appreciated, and she would love it.
Yeah.
Give her a comment, particularly. She says she loves the comments.
She loves reading the comments and replying really to the nice comments.
Yeah, so please check out her channel. That would be really cool. Yeah. So, what do you want to do now?
Yeah. What else have we done this week? Don't want to give too much away, because obviously we've got our normal video coming out on Saturday. But what we didn't film was yesterday. It felt like we haven't had a day out for ages, really, didn't it? For me, it did. I'm looking at Darren and he's just blanking me. But yeah, well, we harp on about the weather enough, but this week so far has been dry every single day, and we've had sun and we've had whatever, and it's just lifted my spirits quite a bit. And then one of the things that we were really looking forward to this week was yesterday, because we got invited over. I mentioned Andres and Gaydra at the beginning because they are the mushroom experts, but it was Andres's birthday yesterday, and we were invited over to their place to celebrate his birthday, and there were other friends there, some that we already knew and some that are new friends to us now, which was lovely. So we just wanted to say thank you very much for the invite. We had a lovely afternoon, and G did lots of delicious junk food, what she calls junk food.
Sorry.
So they were filming a little bit for their channel, so you'll have to watch that on whenever they put their next video out, probably on Saturday or Sunday. But we had a lovely afternoon, and it was lovely in the sunshine. We were sitting outside and the sun was there. We had some good food and good conversation, and spent like the whole day out of the village. Max had doggy friends that he hadn't seen for ages, so he had a lovely time, and it was just a very nice day just to do something different that we haven't done for quite a while. Yeah,
it was different to what we haven't done. That's right. We have been out though. I just thought you were saying that we've never been out before. That's why I blanked you. So we go out every week. We go to Castella Branco twice a week. But that's not what. Shopping. But that's not what you meant. Yeah.
No, to visit people and be sociable.
Yeah, to be sociable. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it hasn't happened for a while, so it's been nice to do that. Definitely.
Just meet up and have a chat and catch up. And
we got back in the dark, didn't we, last night?
Yeah, that was quite odd.
We haven't got back in the dark.
The days I mean, we weren't late, but the days are just so much shorter now.
So to get back in the dark was quite odd.
Yes. Yeah. But we did drive back towards an absolutely fabulous sunset when we left their place.
There's a lot of them at the minute, isn't there? Sunsets
with the skies being clear.
Beautiful here at the moment,
So that was a little bit of icing on the cake.
Yeah, very nice indeed. Lovely day. Thank you.
Yeah. So what else? Other than that, I think the village has been quite busy because it's olive picking.
Yeah.
So we wake up to the soundtrack of chainsaws and olive ticklers.
Olive ticklers, yeah.
So I think this morning was the first time that I didn't hear it when I was walking with Max. And we did a big walk this morning, so I was quite surprised that there were the usual background noises weren't happening. Perhaps we were just out too early. But yeah, you can really tell when something's happening in the village because quite a few people have weekend or day houses, or they just come for the holidays, whatever, and so the population expands rapidly from sort of 20 people to about 30 and the roads get very busy. You can barely get across there. Life in your hands now. But there must be like 15 cars or trucks go up and down.
It does get a little bit busier, doesn't it? Yeah, it gets a bit busier for the olives because we are surrounded by olive trees here. Yeah.
Yes, nearly everybody's got them in their gardens, or they've got the land planted to them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And other than that, we're just plodding on with the house. Oh, I'm looking after my neighbour's cat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to mention that. Yeah, Catto.
So yeah, so our neighbours have gone back to visit family for a week, and so I'm looking after their cat, and their cat adopted them when they moved into the village a few years ago. So they built their house just a little way down the street from us, and whilst they were building, just one of the local wild cats would come and watch them, watch them build the house, and get a little bit closer every week, and decided that these people are all right. They've built a nice warm place. I can come and sleep. So yes, so in Portuguese, cat, the word for cat is gato, which makes us laugh because a gato is like a really nice cake.
Really? Is that what you put
That's what I think.
Is that how you remember it? Oh dear. Okay.
So our friends called their gato Cato.
Yeah.
So their cat is called Cato. Which is just a little funny. But she's still very, very wary of anybody who isn't them, because obviously she's had a long time to get to know them and to build up a trust with them. But last time they went away for a couple of days, I was feeding Cato, and she would never come near me. She would look and she would see me, and she knew that she wanted some food. So I had to put the food out and then step like right away off the deck, and then she would come in and she would eat her food, and then I could put it away. But this time she's got to know me a bit.
Getting to know you a bit,
yeah. So I go and I get the food, and then as I'm putting it into the bowl, she's coming right up to me. She's giving me a little rub. She's sort of giving me a friendly meow. And I can sit there with her while she eats her breakfast or her dinner. And I think she's always very, oh, what's that noise? What's that noise? And spooks me a bit, especially last night when it was really dark and I was feeding her. But she seems much more happy with me being around.
Yeah, getting used to you feeding now.
So, so I'm looking after Cato for a week or so. And that's quite nice. Can't take Max. Max would be, well, one, she doesn't trust Max.
No, well,
and
that's it,
Max doesn't understand what cats are yet. They're just sort of...
something to chase.
Yeah, something to chase and something to steal food from.
Yes.
So yes,
that's true. He loves cat food.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He loves any food. But yeah, so I just go, and it's nice and calm and nice and quiet, and they have a lovely deck with a wonderful view, so I can just sit on the deck and spend 5 or 10 minutes with Cato and just have a bit of cat time, which I've never been a cat person.
No,
but
no.
I'm not saying we're going to get one, but she's all right. She, you know, and then they'll come back and she'll be their cat again.
Yeah, so, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and one quickly other animal-related thing.
Animal-related?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about the animals. We mentioned that this stray dog came into the village a while back, a couple of months.
Yeah,
maybe
a couple of months, I think. Yeah.
And our neighbours who live at the top of the street, she'd wangled her way in with them. Just a little update for you. She's doing fabulously.
Yeah.
She is such a sweetheart little dog. They took her to the vets, had her checked for a chip. The vet said, oh, no, nothing. So they had her vaccinated. I think she's already had her second lots of vaccinations. And she's been chipped and registered to be with them.
Yeah.
So they're now a 2-dog family.
Yeah.
And she's...
Congratulations.
She's growing like rapidly with all of the food and the love and attention, isn't she?
Yeah, she's loving it.
So,
yeah, it's nice.
So that's
cute,
just for
face.
those who had asked, because a couple of people did ask what had happened to the stray dog. So
yeah.
Yep. So back to mushrooms.
Well, I thought you were going to, when you were talking about animals, I thought you were going to talk about the captures that we have from up the land as well.
Oh, well, you. But I haven't even seen them.
No, well, we have been putting the wild Pips cam out. That's what we call it now, the wild Pips cam, to photograph animals on our land. We do have a couple of shots of a fox, and I think it's a hedgehog. Yep, I'll pop them in on the end. And,
because the hedgehog's been in the street as well.
We've had the hedgehog.
Or another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really nice.
I imagine there's a few hedgehogs around. Yeah, I never thought they were a Portuguese thing. I never thought. Anyway, never mind. I thought hedgehogs were mainly British. Anyway, moving on. I'll put the pictures.
They speak all languages, I think.
Let's get on with cooking some mushrooms then.
Yeah, so what are you going to do? You're just going to grab the camera and...
I'll grab the camera, I'll press stop, and then I'll record Elaine cooking some mushrooms in the kitchen.
I thought you were cooking them.
I'll cook them then, let's go. Okay, so we cooked them up in a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter, or margarine in fact, and they've cooked for about 5 minutes and they've gone quite crispy, which is interesting. So a little bit of salt and pepper as well, and we'll give them a go. So I'm going to pop them onto just a piece of kitchen towel, just to get the majority of the oil and butter away. Margarine. So,
I'll come round here.
Okay, you're going to come like there, and we'll have a look what we got. So I'll show you what we got. These are the little crispy mushrooms. They look really tasty. I was going to say they smell like crisps, but I think that's just crispy.
That'll just be the fat.
That'll just be the oil, yeah. So we'll give them a try. It's the first time we tried them as a foraged mushroom. See what they're like. Wow, actually.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's got a good depth of flavour.
Yeah. I think that's quite a nice way to cook them. I mean, there are probably other ways of cooking them that we obviously haven't tried yet, but that...
It's lovely. Darren cut them quite thin, so they have cooked fast. But our neighbour said that they're really good with eggs. So probably in like an omelette or scrambled eggs or something like that. Oh, it's got a lovely savoury flavour. That's what I like about mushrooms. I love mushrooms.
They're really good. Oh, the mushroom, this is the depth of the mushrooms coming through as well, isn't it? Maybe just a little bit over salted.
Maybe.
Yeah, so less salt, because I think it will soak all the salt. Sorry?
Love salt.
However much salt you want. They're really good, eh?
Very nice. Yeah, they'd go really ping in an omelette.
They would, yeah. So
Excellent.
So cook them within an inch of their lives, basically, is the moral of that.
Don't burn them, but
No, yeah, because that wouldn't work, I don't think. But they're really tasty, so.
Yep. And we still haven't managed to find out what they're called, so please don't ask.
Yeah, we don't know which
or
type.
Or tell us if you know.
Yeah. So, I suppose that's the end of the video.
Yes, thank you very much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you very much for joining us on this PiPsCast. Yep. We will see you this evening on this PiPsCast. We do that anyway, don't we?
Yeah, that's when they're going to see it.
So we will see you on our next video on Saturday, was what I meant to say. So take care, everyone. And we will catch you on
the next one.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Back to the mushrooms.